Okay, so this week we're learning about volume. And when we talk about volume, we're talking about how much space something can hold, or how many things can you fit inside of, let's say, a container. So for this example, we are not working with a four-sided shape, but you'll see that later on. So right now, I just want you to know how to go about finding the volume if you're working with just cubic units, okay? So you should have your notebook and this handout, and basically you're going to cut this down to size so you can glue it into your notebook. We're going to do a couple of questions together, and then you're going to finish off. I need for you to complete every single problem with me, and when you turn this in, it should be 100% completed. Okay, so volume is the measure of space inside a solid object, such as a cube or rectangular prism. Volume is measured in cubic units. And again, we're doing cubic units because it's not a 2D shape, so it has length, width, and it does have height. Okay, so here we're told that 1 cube is equal to 1 cubic centimeter, or 1 centimeter cubed. And then this example right here is equal to 7 cubic centimeters, but I want to show you how to get to this answer. So there are different ways to do it, but as we move on, you need to learn the more efficient way. So let's do the long way right now. So basically all you would have to do is just count up each cube. So here's 1, 2, 3. We can clearly see those. You can see this one at the side, 4. You can see this one on top, 5. You can see this one back on top, which is 6. However, this back one is sitting on the other cube that is on the opposite side of this one. So there's an invisible one back here on the bottom, which would make it 7. Okay, pretty simple. So that is one way to do it. However, this will get a little tricky when it's a more complex combination of cubic units. So as we go through, know that you can always count them. So if you get stuck, count them. Okay, let's look at A. Find the volume of each shape. Use cubic centimeters for your units. So here's another way that you can do this. So I know that in front I have 4 cubes, okay? And I can see that on the side, which is the width, there are 2 cubes going back, so I can write 2 right here. And then on the side going up, I can see that it's a height of 2. So we're not just going to multiply each one of these numbers. What we're going to do is we're going to break the shape up, because if you just multiply all these numbers, your answer will be incorrect, because this first set right here doesn't have the second layer as in the back. So we're just going to work with the front. So for the front, I can see that I have 4 cubes in front, so that's 4. And I only have 1 to the side, so that's 4 times 1. That'll give me this front stack. Okay, so that's 1. Next, I can do the back. So the back again is the same amount because there's nothing extending here. So the back will be 4. However, I'm going 2 up. So this would be 4 times 1 first because there's only 1 cube. And then I'm going to go 2 cubes up, which is the height. Okay, so my front, and I can highlight this for you so you can see it easier. So here's the front piece. Okay. This yellow right here is 4 times 1. Really, it's 4 times 1 times 1. So that is 4 because I have 4 in the front. So that's the length. 1 to the side, and there's just 1 layer. So that's 4. Plus the layer in the back, I will highlight that in orange for you. So again, remember I have this front piece. Then I have 2 going up. So this is going to be 4 in the front, right? So if I remove this yellow piece, I can see the back 4. And then there's only 1 to the side, so that's your width. And then there's 2 going up, so that's your height. So 4 times 1 is 4, times 2 is 8. So in total, the answer for this is 4 plus 8, which is 12. Oops, let's move that over. Which is 12. And the unit they told us was centimeter cubed. Okay, so that is our answer for letter A. Okay, let's try B. So for B, I am going to separate the shape out into the bottom layer, which is right here, then this middle piece right here, and then the top. So if I look at the bottom layer, I see there's 3 in the front, so that's my length, times 2 in the back, 2 in the side, and this bottom layer only goes up by 1 unit. So it's just one level, okay? So that will be 3 times 2 times 1 is 6. So that is just my bottom layer. Now let's work on the second layer. The second layer is 2 in the front, which is the length, times side view is 2, times, there's only one level here, so times 1. 2 times 2 is 4, times 1 is still 4. And then this top layer, it's, and I'm just going to do this simple, 1 in the front times 1 on the side, and this is just one level, so it's 1 times 1 times 1, so this is just 1. And then all you need to do is just add up those numbers. 6 plus 4 is 10, plus 1 is 11 centimeters cubed. Okay, let's look at C. So C, I can see already that I have 2 different stacks that I can take apart. So I can take apart this top stack right here and then just do the bottom first. So let's do the bottom stack first. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the length, that's my front view, times my side view, which is the width, is also 4. And this bottom section is just one level, so that's times 1. So this would be 16. And then let's go ahead and do this top level. I don't have to multiply because I can see the top and the bottom. You know, you can see the top view. So all I would have to do is just count those up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, or you can do it 2 in the front, 2 in the length, times 2 on the side, and this is just one level, so that's going to be 4. So 4 times 4 is 16, times 1 is 16, plus 2 times 2 is 4, times 1 is 4, 16 plus 4 is 20 centimeters cubed. And that is my answer here. Okay, let's go ahead and do D. Okay, so for D, again, I can take off the front portion of this stack. So right here, I can take that off, okay, and split this into 2 separate stacks. So let's do that. Actually, this is going to get broken up into 3 because of this one up here. So let's do this stack, and I'll highlight that in yellow so you can see what I'm talking about. So we're just going to do this piece. Okay. Okay, so I can count these out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so it's easy for me to see that there are 6. But if we're sticking to the formula, I'm just going to do the length, which is 3 units, times the width, which for this yellow portion is just 1 unit. And this goes up 2 levels. So 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 2 is 6. Okay, then this top piece right here, I will just shade that in so you can see it. Just this top piece. That is going to be pretty much 1, but I'll stick to the equation, and that's 1. Now let's look at the back. The back, I'm going to color it orange so you can see it. You can see that I have 3 going across, right? So that's my length. So I have 3 times, how many go into the back? Just 1 going to the back. That's the width. And the height is 1, 2, 3, 4. So this has 4 units in height. So we'll just go ahead and write 4. So this is 3 times 1 is 3 times 4 is 12. And then I just need to add up those numbers. So 6 plus 1 plus 12 equals to 19 centimeters cubed. Okay, let's do E together, and then I will leave the rest for you. Okay, so let's see how can we split this. And you can split these in any way that makes sense to you, as long as you're not eliminating anything. So when I look at this, I can separate the top right here. That will give me 1. Then I can separate this portion under here. That would be my second measurement. And then I can separate this portion. So that's one way to do it. You can do this another way. Okay, so I can also separate this portion right here, kind of like a cereal box. That would be 1. Separate this end piece right here, and then do the cube or the cubic units in the middle. So whichever way works for your brain, just make sure you're not leaving any of the units out. Okay, so I am going to go and do the top stack. So right here, I'll highlight that in yellow. And again, you saw multiple ways you can do this. So I am going to do the yellow stack first. So here. Okay, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4 across. That's my length. Times my width, how many units to the back? 1, 2. Times my height, how many units up? 1, 2. So this is 4 times 2 is 8 times 2 is 16. So this top stack is 16 cubic units. Okay, let's go ahead and do this front leg. I'm calling it a leg. So I have this orange portion right here. So you can see from front view, we have 1 unit times my side view, or the width, is 2 units, times the height going up is 2 units. 1 times 2 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So the other side is actually the exact same, but that will not always be the case. So we have 1 unit in front, that's the length, times 2 units on the side, times 2 units going up. So again, that will be 4. So when we add this all up, 16 plus 4 is 20. 20 plus 4 is 24 cubic centimeters. Okay, so all you have to do for the rest of these is to break them apart, stack them, unstack them, whichever way makes sense for you, and then count up your cubic units. And remember, your answer will always be in centimeters cubed, or to the 3rd power, because you're multiplying 3 different things. You're looking at the length, the width, and the height.